Greeners are here.
Girls off the warm-ups.
The camera with this, Sarah.
Because the numbers, the Courcey numbers are difficult to see, so we
Welcome to the Cork Camogie grounds for the SE Systems Cork Senior Camogie Final. It's Courcey Rovers against Inniscarra. Inniscarra going for a 5th title. Courcey Rovers going for their 1st. You are welcome to the Irish Examiner's coverage, and we'd love to hear from you no matter where you're watching this one. We get that it's a privilege to be here given the restrictions that are there at the moment. We don't have to dive into those restrictions and why they're there. Quite frankly, we're sick of talking about them. One thing we're never sick of talking about is high grade sport in Camogie, and Paddy Murray, Cork manager. This could be a really good battle today, couldn't it, between Inniscarra and Courcey Rovers?
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting game. I suppose if I'm looking at it from the outset, I think that Courcey should go in here as favourites. I think their campaign overall has been very, very positive. High scoring games, and they've two probably major forwards that have chalked up the scores for Courcey, so I think they'll go in as favourites. Inniscarra, probably as always, are a dogged team. I meet a lot of managers over the last couple of years that would always tell me that Inniscarra are there for the taking, but are never really taken at the end of the day. So I suppose the big thing for me will be the Courcey's two main forwards. If Inniscarra can break 50-50 with them, I think they're probably better midfield in Inniscarra, which would then give a supply of ball inside. So just don't write off Inniscarra.
Trace O'Callaghan, what are you expecting from this match, which is being held on a very warm day? Conditions absolutely perfect. It's championship weather, even though it's not championship time.
Yeah, this is the kind of weather, these are the conditions. In fairness, the pitch here in Castle Road looks amazing, and this is what you want. It's the pinnacle for every club to get to a county final. I agree with a lot of what Paddy says. I think we have a Courcey Rovers, a different team to what was here in 2018. I think the day, unfortunately passed them by a little bit that day, which can happen. It was a young team and it was their first ever final. So this obviously is their second final, and I think, based on their performances all year, you'd give them a very good chance today.
There were 6 players on that Courcey team aged between 17 and 19. How much will the years between have benefited Courcey Rovers, Paddy?
Well, you just look at Fiona Keating from where she was 2 years ago to where she is now, 3-10 in 4 championship matches. So I think that's a big plus for Courcey's. You've Saoirse McCarthy now, who has spent 2 years with us inside, who has learned an awful lot. So you'd be expecting a big day out of her. And I think Linda Collins, probably by her own standards 2 years ago, had a very, very poor game. I think Rena beat her hands down that day, and I think maybe kind of waved the white flag a bit to Rena straight away. So for me, I'd be looking at Linda really wanting to put down a marker to Rena today. I'd expect Rena to pick her up, and I think that's a key battle.
It has the makings of a really, really great occasion. Let's have a look at both teams. Inniscarra taking on Courcey Rovers, throwing in a couple of minutes' time. The sun is shining here on Castle Road. It's an absolutely beautiful day. The jacket a little bit needless, but I just didn't have a nice enough shirt with me to wear, so unfortunately had to go with the jacket. Right, let's take a look at those teams, and we'll start with Courcey Rovers. And they've only made one change to the team that's during the week. Orla Toomey comes out. Emily unfortunately missing out through injury. That's heartbreaking for any player to miss a game like this through injury.
Unfortunately, Emily has missed out the last couple of matches as well. She's picked up an injury, but she's one of the more established and experienced players, so no doubt she'll be like the 16th person here on the sideline for him today. But Orla Toomey has been playing in the last 2 games. She's slotted in there to the back line. So yeah, there's only the one change for Courcey Rovers, and as I said previously to you, they've had more or less the same team, for their 4 championship matches to date, and they looked fairly settled and they performed really well. The key now, this is the big day to do it.
Paddy, let's take a look at the Inniscarra team, and one name jumps off this team sheet to anyone in the Camogie or sporting world. Sometimes we talk about players and we have to outline their legendary status by medals. We don't. Rena Buckley is Rena Buckley.
Yeah, and I think vital to the Inniscarra setup in defence. Really, she kind of, I suppose, sits and plays the sweeper role. I suppose keeps everything very, very tight in defence. You look at Inniscarra over the last number of years, they really rarely give away goals, and I put that down to Rena, and that she marshals that defence very, very well and pulls players back at the right time. So I think she's key to them today.
Niamh McCarthy's missing. That's a big loss.
Yeah, Niamh is I feel very sorry for Niamh with her injury. She's been
3 cruciate ligaments, or she's done it 3 times. That's tough for any player.
It's absolutely, and she's been probably with us for 3 or 4 years as well, and probably one of the most honest girls you could wish to have in a training setup. I think will be missed here today. I think her physicality in the forward line will be a major loss for them today.
Okay, well, let's have a look out onto the pitch where the players are both getting ready, as in the players from both sets of teams. It's a big day in the Camogie calendar. It's a big day in the sporting calendar in Cork, and we're expecting a real belter between Inniscarra and Courcey Rovers. Does the lack of winning experience in a county final count against Courcey Rovers here today, Paddy?
I think it does. I think the one big issue I see with a team that is trying to win something for the first time is trying to manage the expectation the week leading up to it, whereas Inniscarra can manage that much better. So I think that's the big thing there, you know.
Okay, and what about Inniscarra? Does their experience really mean something here? As we say, 5th county final in a row, got there last year, unfortunately for them, lost to Sarsfields, but they're very familiar with this day. They have a muscle memory of it.
Yes, and when you look back to 2010, there's about half of today's panel won their first county title in 2010. So like that experience, has run right through this decade. But yes, I mean, look, to be appearing in your 5th county final in a row, certainly. But as well, I would say last year, we can't forget, Inniscarra came here last year and they were beaten by a team who came with ferocious hunger, Sarsfields, who hadn't won a county title in 30 years. So match that with a team that's coming here today with no title. So they'll be very wary of what Courcey Rovers is going to put up against them.
How do you expect Courcey Rovers to line out in a tactical sense, Paddy, in the opening few minutes? Is it a case of just kind of hanging on in there, or what do you do?
Well, I think they're set up, first of all. I think that they'll play probably two inside with Christine O'Neill and Linda Collins. Saoirse will float, and I suppose hope to get early ball into Linda as quickly as possible. Even looking back at last year's final, I think the key to me today will be Courcey's have to get goals to beat Inniscarra. SARS managed that last year, and I think that will be the key to me.
Well, we're almost ready to go. The team sheet's being read out by the PA person. We'll have the national anthem soon, and then it will be the SE Systems Cork Senior Camogie final between Courcey Rovers and Inniscarra. It is very warm. We've talked about that an awful lot. Will that have any bearing on this game?
Oh no, I mean, you're right next to the sea here, Oisin. There's always a lovely breeze blowing across the field, and you can actually feel it's picking up. I was here earlier this morning and it was so quiet and peaceful. There wasn't a puff of wind here. I think the players will actually welcome that the breeze is freshening up a bit. This is ideal conditions for a county final. This is the day, this is the time, and this is the place where you want to be playing.
And again, we appreciate that there are limited numbers in for this game, and if you couldn't get here, well, then we feel desperately bad for you, but we're glad to be able to bring you this day, such a big day on the calendar. We'd love to hear from you no matter where you're watching this one, via Facebook, via Twitter, via Instagram, via whatever. Inniscarra taking on Courcey Rovers in the Cork Senior Club Championship final. Take a seat, Therese and Paddy, pull your seats up. We're on the back of a truck watching this one, and it's a fantastic vista for this game. The Cork Camogie board have gone to an awful lot of effort to get everything right for this game, and they have done it so well, and we're grateful to them for their support. It's the calm before the storm as the breeze begins to pick up a little bit.
12 having Stephen Wingback. Midfield, number 7, Rosie O'Mahony, and 9, Katie O'Mahony. Wing forward, Captain McCarthy.
So Inniscarra, as we say, not defending champions, trying to get the championship that they last won in 2018 back. As we mentioned already, Emily O'Regan missing out for Courcey Rovers. She's a bit of a lost 3 county titles in a row for Inniscarra in 2016, 2017 and 2018. They won one obviously in 2010 as well. Had some big battles with Milford in around the kind of 13-14 region, so they're well used to this day. Mikey Boland, the Courcey Rovers manager, has called this a David versus Goliath battle. Is he over-egging it slightly there, Trace?
Well, I think, after what happened 2 years ago, Oisin, they're trying to come in here under the radar, and that's understandable. They certainly don't want the hype to catch up with them today, and they'll be really playing it down, for their players. And he's probably, a little bit stretching it there with that, because certainly everybody, around the grounds I was talking to earlier, they do expect Courcey Rovers to give a very, very big performance today.
Inniscarra coming a tough enough route, beating Glen Rovers and St Finbarrs in the last 2 games. Courcey Rovers overcoming St Catherine's and Douglas. They've both certainly earned their spot here, Paddy. There's no questioning that.
Yeah, but I suppose if you look at it, I think Inniscarra have had the tougher battles. I suppose probably Douglas v Courcey probably was the one game that Courcey's were under pressure, but I think that if you looked at particularly the last day against the Bars, Inniscarra were under massive pressure, and probably with 20 minutes to go you expected them to lose that, you know.
It is our own Naveen, and then the Cork Camogie final. For obvious reasons, a small crowd, but it is a big noise. Paddy, at this stage, is it all up to the players? Can a manager do anything? Are you just an observer like everyone else?
Absolutely. Look, I think all the work should be done probably last Tuesday from a tactical point of view for the information that would be given to the players. So, it's all about leaving the players do their stuff now on the pitch, and, the line stays as composed and as relaxed as possible.
As composed and as relaxed as you can, I suppose.
Yeah, but the main thing is that you can't show panic on the line because, players see everything. So, if they see panic on the line, panic then goes straight into the field, and I think that's where problems normally start.
Just Oisin straight away, Irina Buckley has gone over to Mark Linda Collins, so that was one duel that we were expecting to see, and we look forward to see how that's going to pan out this time.
Ball in, game on. Courcey Rovers in red and white, Inniscarra in blue and white. And it's a first attack for Courcey Rovers. Trying to fight for it there is Linda Collins. As Paddy was saying before the game, they need a big show from her. That's a good take on the run by McCarthy, I think it is, trying to get away. McCarthy lets one go from a tight angle. Unfortunately for her, couldn't find the target.
Yeah, I think the other interesting thing there as well is that Rebecca Keane is taking Saoirse, and Aoife Kavanagh, who I rate very highly, is taking up Fiona Keating. So there'll be three interesting duels there, It'll
be a real scramble around the middle as well. Emer O'Reilly has a look up, sees it's 2-on-2 inside, but one of those two is Rena Buckley. What a superstar she is, but Courcey Rovers aren't standing on ceremony, are they? Looking for it inside is Fiona Keating. It just goes over. Keating might fall for Christine O'Neill. That was well taken by the wing forward Emer O'Reilly. Just didn't get the purchase on it that she wanted. Dropped short. Aileen Sheehan is number 12. She's actually playing a wing back, so tick clear by Rosie O'Mahony. And it's out for a line ball. Saoirse McCarthy placing it on the sod, which by the way is an absolutely supreme condition.
Yes, absolutely here. And this breeze can be tricky, Oisin, at times. It blows across the field here, but the players will be well used to it.
And I think the other thing as well is that Inniscarra, to me, have the advantage in the first half, because to me the goal that they're playing into is really the scoring goal. So they need to get as many scores on the board as possible.
Katie O'Mahony hooked. That's a really good piece of skill. She's backed up by her teammate though, who just recycles, and it's away from Rena Buckley. They haven't really had an attack yet. Inniscarra running onto it now is the wing forward. Casey sends it long inside, just evades the hand. Ellen Murphy trying to shovel it up if she possibly can. That's a very smart turn past Hannon. That's a good score. If it goes over, it might be even more.
Wow.
It's a wide. Could have been a goal, could have been a point, ends up a wide.
Yeah, look, Ellen Murphy has played very, very well to date. Is very, very fast, and I think that she needs to come up trumps for Inniscarra today for them to stand a chance of winning.
And that was Aileen Sheehan. I think Aileen Sheehan is one of the more versatile players for Inniscarra. She can play in defence or forward. She's in the forward line today, but she was only inches away from connecting from the ball there. And that would have been a devastating score for Courcey's to concede at this early stage. So you'd have to say, they did well not to concede one there. And it looks like that their goalkeeper there, Sinead O'Reilly, has picked up some sort of an injury and trying to shield the ball out there.
She was certainly brave in her defence of that. She threw herself at it with absolutely zero concern for her own personal safety. No scores yet, and you would expect it to be kind of tight and tense and nervous at the start. Lots of hooks and lots of blocks.
Yeah, but when Inniscarra play, it's always that way, to be honest. They're probably one of the best teams around at managing a game. They know when to slow it down. When the pressure comes on them, they tend to slow the game down and just get a grip of the game again.
Keeper goes long. That's Sinead O'Reilly. She's recovered, which is good to see. There is a little bit of the ground that we can't see from our commentary position, even though I think the camera can pick it up. We're just behind that dugout, but judging by the flag, it is a line ball to Inniscarra. A big day of sport on Lee's side, of course, later on. Live on the Irish Examiner, you'll be able to watch Nemo Rangers against Ballincollig in the Bond Secures Cork Senior Football Championship semi-final. That's a wonderful score. The first of the game. And it was really well taken and really smartly slotted over. I'm not sure it was Akira Ring who got it, but either way, a good score.
Aileen Sheehan got put the ball over the bar, but you look again at Ellen Murphy there. She seems to be winning that corner there. That's her second time she sent the ball in for the ball, the shot that went wide just before that. So certainly, she's the upper hand down there.
And here they go again. That was a lovely weave and a strike off the stick. That's Joanne Casey. And that's another point, 2 in a row for Inniscarra. Paddy, that's a fine patch of play for them.
Absolutely, particularly when probably Courcey's probably started it better, but it settles Inniscarra very, very well. I've said before that goal is a scoring goal, so I think it's important that Inniscarra put scores on the board. Ellen Murphy, to me, is causing trouble at the moment. I was surprised with that matchup, to be honest. I thought that Courcey's would probably close Ellen Murphy down a lot quicker.
Ashley Maloney goes with the hand. It's a forwards ball all day long. She did get out in front, much to her credit. Linda Collins drifts one inside. Battling for it is Fiona Keating. Keeper smartly off her line. Sheila Walsh did really well. Got it to the cornerback, Aoife Kavanagh. Kavanagh sent it down the line and away they go. Rebecca Quigley providing the out ball. Breaks down along the middle and it's going to break for Inniscarra. Falls for blue and white, trying to get away again was Ella Murphy, but just knocked out of her hand. She hasn't given up on it though. Very typical of Ella Murphy, doesn't give up on anything. She's being wrapped around there by Karen Keohan, the captain. Inniscarra recycle it. Slight miscue with the hand, but she'll get a second bite at this cherry. They got the numbers behind the ball there, Courcey Rovers, and they eventually get it away. On the chase after it is Circe McCarthy, but she's beaten to it. That was a really good piece of skill. A straightforward pull along the ground. Rebecca Quigley with that one. Here is O'Neill. Inniscarra try and get it back and they've turned it over. Katie O'Mahony. The defender meets it, trying to get it on the second attempt. There's a big collision in their play. We'll have to stop. It's certainly intense out there, Trace, isn't it?
It's intense, and I admire Cathal McAllister immensely as a referee. I think he's letting the game flow, and that's the way it should be. You want this to be a spectacle. It's your showcase event, and so far I think this is the first time that he's blown in the game, and he certainly contributes and lets it flow.
Yeah, I think he's been excellent. But all during the campaign,
yes.
Really, any game that has been exciting, he has been involved in it, and that I've watched him in a number of hurling games as well this year, and I think he's been terrific, just letting the game flow and
yes.
not blowing for silly stuff.
That has been a big issue with Camogie over the last couple of years. The physicality of the players has developed. And now they want to let it flow, and it looks like that's beginning to happen.
Yeah, but you see, the players are more, they're stronger, they're more physical, without, going over on the other side. You don't want to go. There's nobody wants to get hurt in this, but certainly you want your game to flow and you want to let the players express themselves.
Maloney.
I just come in there. I just think it's common sense, really. Just he understands the game, and look, he knows when people are making an honest effort.
Buckley there to pick it up again. She's like a Hoover back there. Slipped it out well to Aoife Kavanagh. Kavanagh skipped it down the line. Sheehan got onto it there, and Sheehan into that kind of wing forward position on the chases. Joanne Casey. Casey trying to shrug off the defender. Gets a little bit of room, gets her shot away, and gets a fantastic point.
Yeah, and I think the big move for me today is to play Aileen Sheehan wing forward, who has started very, very well there and seems to be involved in everything good with what Inniscarra are doing.
Casey showing well so far,
She's,
isn't she?
her second point. I mean, but to me, she's massive experience, so she and Joanne Casey. She's been around a long time. She's been in parties, various teams, and, she's produced the goods before for both Cork and for Inniscarra.
Inniscarra are winning an awful lot of ball along the middle. That's a really good hook, but then they try and get the pull away and can't. That's a probing ball. Well dealt with by the defender. Inniscarra just not letting them out easy at all. And then it's robbed back by Joanne Casey. She's already got 2. Will this be a goal? It's a good save, and it goes out for a 45. That was a fantastic save by Sheila Walsh. Brave and smart.
Oh yeah, and that's her second save since this match started. I mean, she stood her ground there. That had goal written all over it, Oisin, as Joanne Casey was going in, and she'll be disappointed that she didn't put that away, because a player of her calibre, she normally scores those goals. So I'd say at this early stage, Sinead O'Reilly is one of the key players for Courcey Rovers at this stage, and she's really saved them not once but twice.
Yeah, I think that Joanne, to be very honest, should be sticking that. That's a one-on-one, made it perfect height for the keeper. At Joanne's level, I think she'd be disappointed with that.
Well, they'll hope to get something out of the attack. It has been a very good start for Inniscarra. Dilworth taps it over. And now all 3 of the starting full forward line as named by Inniscarra have got scores.
Yes, they have, and they're all capable of getting the machine, and they're all capable of getting more. And you just worry a little bit at this stage that Courcey Rovers, this is not what they wanted at the start, because Inniscarra will love to put the seeds of doubt into their mind, and they'll want to dictate this. This is their 5th county final. They want to come here and show that they are the queens of Camogie.
Good ball from McCarthy. They need to start winning ball. Trying to block it there is Collins. Inniscarra battling as always, as you would expect. You can probably see them, we can't, because they've disappeared in behind the dugout, but as always the flag is our saviour, and it's a line ball to Courcey Rovers. They're working it short. And that was over the line, I think, by the time it was struck, so it's a line ball to Inniscarra.
Yeah, Oisin, I think at this stage, Courceys are in big problems, are in around the middle third of the field. And, to me, they have to win that section of the pitch to get enough ball into the likes of Linda and Fiona inside. If not, I think Fiona Keating needs to come out the field a bit.
How did they do that? What can the management do at this stage?
I think they have to change the personnel in there, to be honest. I just don't think they're strong enough. So, to me, leaving Fiona inside at the moment is a waste of time. I think that she needs to be brought out the field, that she can use her physicality to win the ball.
Line ball for Courcey Rovers. As we say, Trace, if they can just not be too far behind at half time, as Paddy has said, that's the scoring goal in the second half.
And
if they
well
can
for their mindset, I think, they'll be looking at the scoreboard now. They can't let the difference get any bigger at this stage. They'll need just one score to settle themselves, because, in all the other games they've dictated. They've been the team that has led, whereas this is a new situation for them now to find themselves in. And, just one score would do them.
Joanne Casey. That's a beautifully cushioned shot. 3 for her now.
Yeah, Joanne is flying it. To me, probably one of the best strikers of a ball playing club-wise at the moment, left or right, and is causing serious trouble at the moment.
And even this early, it's looking pretty ominous for Courcey Rovers. Spilled out of the hand of Saoirse McCarthy. Can they win some ball around the middle? I think that's Crowley who has it. Tries desperately to get it out to a teammate, and she has. Any kind of score would do for Courcey Rovers at the moment. They just need the boost of confidence. Trying to run onto it was O'Reilly. Doesn't get there. That's a really good recycle of the ball. Linda Collins gets the score that Courcey Rovers desperately needed.
Yes, and I mean that's going to settle them down now, and it just shows, they had the vision to book the ball, to walk the ball back out to Linda Collins. I mean, that was a really good point. It was out from distance, and hopefully now they'll settle into the game and they'll show and play the type of camogie that they have been playing all year.
They didn't have a chance since about the second minute, let alone a point. Trying to win it back now is McCarthy.
Yeah, I think Fiona Keating now and Saoirse have come out in around the middle of the field, so that would hope that they'd gain some sort of control in around that middle third.
That's well won in the middle. You were talking about that, Puddy, that they needed to win more ball there in the last minute or two. They have. Winning the foot race back, though, is Anya O'Regan. She will be under pressure, though. Collins blocking the route out, and Rena Buckley there as always. She just seems to fill that back line full of confidence.
Look, she can control it to the last, to be honest. Look, she's years of experience, and she knows when to squeeze it up and when to move the ball out of the fenced in as well.
One of those players who has such an iconic kind of status, you don't even need to say her full name. When you say Rena, everyone knows what you mean. It's like when you say Ken in Waterford.
Yeah, I mean, she's an amazing athlete, and she's an amazing personality to go with it. And she still has the appetite for the game. I saw her come in earlier on. I'd say she's one of the first to arrive here, and she's as enthusiastic about this as she was, I'd say, for the first medal that she won.
Who had 15 minutes before I got my first mention of Waterford in there. Standing over the free is Niamh Dilbert. She's already got one. This is from a tight enough angle. There is a breeze. It's going to drop. And it bounces wide. That's well defended by Courcey Rovers, because when the ball is dropping in there, very often you just want to hold those forwards in place and let the ball kind of take its natural course.
Yeah, Niamh Dilbert will be disappointed with that, because normally she's very, very accurate from frees, and it has been a big part of Inniscarra's success over the last couple of years is the return they get from frees. So I think she'll be disappointed she didn't strike it cleanly.
Maloney runs and not into trouble. Ball goes down the line from Toomey. Good skipping ball inside to Linda Collins. Linda Collins, who's already got one, lets one go. If that goes over, it's a cracker. It is. 2 points for Linda Collins. Courcey Rovers narrow the gap to 3, and now they're beginning to settle down.
Yeah. I mean, that was it was the perfect ball in for Linda Collins. She just ran onto it. She's a fabulous touch, first time up, and she's had 2 really good points now, because both were from different angles and different parts of the field.
And 2 points in a row for Courcey Rovers as well. That's confidence building, isn't it?
Yeah, the scoreboard looks a lot different now.
Tis, and I think the other thing that's noticeable there as well is that Fiona Keating is playing in her side of the field as well, pulling Aoife Kavanagh out, so Aoife really can't sit back to cover the space in front of Linda, so it just means that Linda has a lot of space in front of her.
Fiona Keating is away. Fiona Keating, that looks good. 3 in a row for Courcey Rovers. That one was struck so well it almost ended up back in Debenhams. That was a brilliant score.
Yeah, I think, there was a small little bit of stage fright here for the first 5-10 minutes or so. But courses are settling in, and from their point of view, you'll be glad, because, we know the way they can play. And Inniscarra, of course, were going to come out and they were going to try and spoil them, and they managed to do that. But to come back now, it's 5 points to 3. That's a very even game at the moment.
The water break has come at the exact wrong time for Courcey Rovers, hasn't it, Paddy?
Yeah, it's something that I don't like, to be very honest with you, because 15 minutes you can just start becoming into a game, and you're breaking for a minute, and it normally stops that run you have. So I'd like it done away with, to be honest.
Yeah, I saw actually Cathal McAllister here at one Camogie match where he didn't use it at all, and there was no complaints. It certainly does break the momentum. It can work for one team and work against the other.
Yeah, absolutely, and 15 minutes you're just trying to get yourself into a game, and all of a sudden you're stopping in for a minute, so any rhythm that you have is gone. But I think the big difference is bringing Fiona Keating out the field for the last 10 minutes, I think has changed things a small bit.
Yes, and they're just, their confidence is growing a little bit more as well. No, they're running with the ball.
Well, they got 3 points in 4 minutes towards the end of the first quarter, if you want to call it that, Courcey Rovers. So whatever they did, and you pointed out what they did, it has worked.
Yeah, it has. I suppose one thing on Inniscarra's side, Claudia Keane midfield, we've got a very, very poor return out of her at the moment, and she's a girl that there's big things promised, or she's promising big things, but you'd like to see her come more into the game.
And now they win it in the middle again, Courcey Rovers. This is something they weren't doing in the first 5-10 minutes. Getting away is Fiona Keating. Fiona Keating from the crowd. Fiona Keating. That is wonderful from Fiona Keating. Her and Linda Collins appear to be having their own top scoring match. They're both now on 2 each.
Fantastic score from her there, and from the depths of midfield. She took it on as she ran through the heart of defence. Great score from where she was striking the ball. And 4 great points now on the trot, and they're in the ascendancy again.
Maloney lets one go. Can Keating make a break for herself? Getting the stick in there is the defender. Cathal McAllister gives Inniscarra a bit of respite there by giving the free out.
Lucky break for Inniscarra there, but I'd say she'd only one thing on her mind. She was after getting the sliotar into her hand, but maybe she just picked the ball off the ground, did she? It looked like.
Four in a row for Courcey Rovers. Inniscarra's last score coming from Joanna Casey after 12 minutes. It's quite the turnaround. They still lead by a point. And Inniscarra being Inniscarra, you do not write them off. You don't write anyone off at this stage. Fiona Keating is really playing a lot of ball here. That one got away from her a bit, but she did make it stick. Trying to get onto it now is Elaine O'Reilly. And it's out for a line ball.
Yeah, I think they're totally on top at the moment. They're middle third. They're winning hands down at the moment, and Inniscarra are in a lot of trouble there.
Saoirse McCarthy. It's a trickler, but it does work. Player who receives it keeps her feet. Bit of a fresh air shot. She's absolutely surrounded. Katie O'Mahony, among others, doing a great job for Inniscarra. But again, they just can't get rid of it. It was turned over, and then initially it was turned over, and then it was won back. Saoirse McCarthy poking at this one again. And Courcey Rovers coming away with it. They've got a bit of time. They've got a bit of space. McCarthy.
Oh,
great block. Fantastic work there from Rosie O'Mahony. But the danger not gone. She looks to me like she squeezed that one over. That is a wonderful score from Saoirse McCarthy. Her first of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably took it too far in the first instant. Katie O'Mahony got a great block in, but recovered well and struck a good score.
It's been all Courcey Rovers over the last number of minutes. Now it's Fiona Keating.
Great.
Fantastic hook. Probing ball. That's a neat turn by Ella Murphy. Ella Murphy trying to shake off Maloney. Fantastic run by Murphy. Murphy. Saved by the goalkeeper. Bats it into danger though. And there's enough red and white jerseys around. Surely that's a free out. No, Colin McAllister allows play to continue.
Great passage of play there again, like Sinead O'Reilly coming up trumps and out to Jacinta Crowley, and they have possession now again with Linda Collins.
Linda Collins. It's not bad actually. It does hold up in the breeze. Lorraine Collins. Well blocked by the goalkeeper. Gives away the 45, but made sure that she didn't concede a goal. Fantastic work from Sheila Walsh.
Yeah, Courcey's are playing with a lot of confidence, moving the ball well out of defence. Every player seems to be in tune at this stage, and Inniscarra in a bit of trouble.
And of course, she was going with the hand pass goal, which is allowed at the moment, but when the All-Ireland Championship will start, Paddy, it's going to be trialled again, isn't it? What do you think of the hand pass goal?
I'm not so sure on it, to be honest. Very little goals. I think only 3 goals in the last 5 years have been scored with a hand pass, so I'm not overly concerned about it. I suppose the one thing for us is dropping the hurley will be a major problem, I think, this year, just to get girls coming from a club environment back into county. I think the change over there is going to cause trouble, particularly earlier on.
Okay.
And Courcey Rovers lead for the first time in the game thanks to the 45 struck by Jacinta Crowley. Inniscarra haven't scored in 10 minutes. Can they get the ball in the corner here? No, they run out of pitch. Line ball to Courcey Rovers. We have to be very, very careful here, because when the ball goes into that corner, we're kind of leaning out over the edge
actually,
of it.
Oisin, if I can just pay tribute to the owners of the lorry, they're Linda Collins' parents,
Okay.
Jane and Geraldine Collins.
And fair play to them, because it's made it so much easier for us to set up a commentary position. The cameras are in a good spot, we're in a good spot. Saoirse McCarthy is in a good spot, and she lets one fly. Linda Collins on the run. She's got Fiona Keating in front of her. Pops it off to Keating. Is there a goal there for Courcey Rovers? Again, the keeper was behind it, but it wasn't a particularly good shot. It's scooped in though in the second attempt, and they have got the goal.
Yeah, I think the big thing with courses at the moment is that you have Saoirse, Fiona and Linda really dominating. Obviously good news for me, but they're really showing up very well.
Fiona Keating with a wonderful follow-up there. Didn't give up on it.
Oh yeah, but the pass as well. I mean, just the passages of play between them. And again, it was Linda Collins who came out there and won that ball. And we can't, I suppose, emphasise enough how important these 3 players are. These 3 kind of inter-county players for Courcey Rovers. They've 3 senior players in their attack. They've 3 intermediate players in their half back line. They have to show the way to the younger players.
I think it's fair to say as well, Courcey Rovers kind of need a county title, don't they, having come so close over the years?
Oh, listen, they're crying out for it. I mean, the disappointment of 2 years ago, and I suppose more so when you know that you didn't, play to your potential. They've done an awful lot of work this year, and they've done everything right. And, the players are there, they've experience at inter-county level, but the one medal that they don't have is a senior county medal.
Yeah, I think they're a phenomenal club, both male and female. They try to do things right the whole time, and have put a lot of work into Camogie down there as well. So it would obviously be great to see them winning a county title.
Glad to see that Sheila Welch is okay. Made a good save on the first attempt,
initially,
but
yes.
kind of batted it back into play. Maybe
Yes.
as a keeper, sometimes you're better off turning it away, even if that means giving away a 45. Granted, as I've always said, it's easy up here where you never make any mistakes. Out there, it's something different. Rena Buckley. Oh, she's fouled the ball. It's a free in.
Yeah.
She's overcarried.
Yeah, I think very harsh, to be very honest with you. I wouldn't be very happy with that if I was Inniscarra. That I think that he probably should have left play develop away.
Yeah, and Jacinta Crowley is really on form with her free taking this year. Very accurate, and has scored already from around this position.
Crowley going through the free taking routine. Another fine strike from Crowley. Courcey Rovers didn't register a score for the opening 13 minutes. They were 5 points down at that stage, if you can believe that. If you're only tuning in now, then maybe that is quite hard to believe, but they have been phenomenal since the 13th minute. They've put up 1-7, Paddy. It's fantastic scoring, isn't it? Fantastic play.
Absolutely. They're totally in control all over the pitch now at this stage. Their backs now are playing with a lot more confidence, attacking the ball and moving it through the lines quite well. And I think Saoirse McCarthy is very dominant midfield at the moment.
As we say, a big day of sport on Leeside. Later on, you'll be able to watch Ballincollig against Nemo Rangers in the Cork Senior Football Championship semi-final. The Bond Secure Cork Senior Football Championship semi-final. Big day in soccer as well. Cork City playing Finn Harps in a relegation 6-pointer. Jacinta Crowley launching that one from the middle of the pitch. 2 from free so far, and now 1 from play.
Yeah, she seems to have come into it big time in the last 5 minutes as well. So totally dominant there.
Yeah, I think the opening quarter, was a combination of nerves and probably thinking of when they were here or when they played the county final 2 years ago when it didn't go their way. But now that they've shaken all that off, they're playing the way they've been playing all year.
Inniscarra, they're not done yet. Katie O'Mahony picks it up on the run. The captain turning and twisting.
Great ball.
Good crossfielder. Just got away from the stick of Ciara Ring, but she won't give up on that. Ring has a look, sees what's there. She played that one really well, didn't she?
Yes, she did. But I mean, the block down there as well. But look where Christine O'Neill is. Down defending in front of her own goal. But Inniscarra need a score now, even if Ciara Ring's shot was blocked there. Carl McAllister is after awarding them a free in. It's a tricky enough angle, and the wind is blowing into the face of the free taker at the moment. So it's no easy free at all for Niamh Dilworth, but she's quite good at these, so it's certainly within her range.
She's scored one and missed one so far. Keeps it low enough and does what she needs to do and taps it over.
Yeah, I think that's a big free for Inniscarra. They needed that, and it just stops the rot now for a small bit.
It's their first score since the 12th minute.
Yeah, it's a long time, and there's only one team in it up to now, really. You're expecting that Courcey's will drive on from here.
Ball breaks kindly. They won't panic, that's for sure and certain. Joanne Casey sends it long. Just got away from the corner forward. She couldn't quite make it stick. McCarthy pops out, running after it as Hines. Inniscarra battling away, but Toomey picks it up bravely and gets the free out. They seem to be getting the 50-50 calls from Cathal McAllister.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think they probably deserve the calls. Maybe Rena's one is the only one I would dispute at this stage. But one thing about Inniscarra, they can come from behind as well, and they did so in the semi-final against St. Finbarrs, and they had a really tough game against Lynn Rovers, so they're certainly not out of this game yet.
Linda Collins, it's tight, but it's just dropped wide. Drops to blue in the middle. That's a very good take, very calm take. Well defended again. Ciara Ring sent it in. Courcey Rovers defend it now. It's Hines. Hines absolutely bottled up, but that's a really good stick pass. That's over the head of Crowley. She's not going to get there. It's Rob back. Great work from Sheehan. Sheehan, head down and running at goal. That's what you want your forwards to do. And they win the free in through sheer persistence.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing is Joanne Casey has kind of dropped out now to midfield. Obviously, Inniscarra trying to get some sort of a hold in around the middle third, and Aileen Sheehan, no better woman, to grab the game by the scruff of the neck.
Oh wow, it's a trickler. Well, how much will that miss count at the end of the game? The referee, Cathal McAllister, blowing his whistle again. That was most un-Dilworth-like.
Yeah, I thought a poor decision, to be honest. I'd be knocking that over the bar. You're only going in at half-time,
Absolutely.
4 points after, not having a great opening half. And the height she hit it was a perfect height to be saved as well. So,
Yeah, it was a strange one to go for goal because, of course, the Rovers were alert to what she was going to do. I mean, there was plenty of bodies on the line. A 4 or 5 point game, like a 4 point game at half time. I don't know why she went for that. I know it was an easy scoreable free and a certain point.
Yeah, I think and just get the scoreboard ticking
Yes,
over again,
yes.
get your confidence up a small bit, and gradually claw your way back into a game. I see Inniscarra have changed their setup now. Claudia Keane has gone wing forward, Joanna's gone midfield. Aileen Sheehan is pushing out a small bit now, so they've changed things around a small bit.
Ashley Maloney taking the free for Courcey Rovers. Into the middle it goes. Just bounces away from Emer O'Reilly. Does her best to get it. Fiona Keating in there battling as well. She's already on 1-2. Inniscarra get it, but can't hang on to it.
Brilliant.
Is that a free in? Referee Colin McAllister allows play to continue.
Yeah.
Courcey Rovers try and come away with it. Lovely pop ball to the wing. She loses her stick but not her composure.
Yeah.
Saoirse McCarthy. McCarthy, will that draw back in? Square ball is the shout. It ends up in the net. And it's a goal.
Yeah.
It's another goal. Those high dropping balls, they're awkward enough to handle. It might
Linda
have
Collins.
been Lorraine Collins. Yeah, that's who I think it was.
Linda.
But I think that we go back to the free that Dilworth had. Knock that over the
Yeah,
bar,
yeah.
regroup and get going again. You know, your 4-point swing at this stage. So, you know.
It's Linda Collins.
Yes,
got under
yes,
that
I
one.
think it was Linda Collins. But I mean, the ball that was sent in, a really dangerous ball, just landing in around the goal mouth and took advantage. And that's a huge score just before half time.
And great work by Linda Collins. Did what you'd want any corner forward to do. Just got in there and
Blinded
made it
the
awkward,
keeper
yeah.
and everything. Yeah.
In the meantime, Inniscarra have a free, which they really need to go over. They need a boost before half time. Dilworth. Didn't quite catch that one. It is a fairly awkward breeze, and that's not what you'd call a kind of a 100%er.
Yeah, the breeze pulls to this side, Oisin, but she should be aware. She'd know that from playing here. All the championship matches in the Cork Camogie Championship have been played in this grounds.
Yeah, but I think if you're thinking about winning a county, you've got to be getting those to stick at this stage,
Don't leave her out is the shout at the Inniscarra forwards. If they do foul her, it's a free out for Courcey Rovers.
I was talking to the Glen Rovers hurling manager last night, and that's a comment he made. He said, if you're serious about winning county championships, your county players have to stand up and they have to, you have to be able to pick them out and they have to perform for you.
Richie Kelleher of Glen Rovers, happy with his team who got through to the final last night. They'll play Blackrock in the decider. We are watching the SE Systems Cork Senior Camogie final, and it is Courcey Rovers who lead 2-8 to 6 points at half time. Paddy, what have you made of it?
It's a long ways back from it for Inniscarra, to be honest. Outside probably the first 5-8 minutes, it's been all courses since then. They've dominated the middle third. I think Saoirse McCarthy coming out as a third midfielder has played very, very well there. Fiona is going well. Linda's causing trouble inside, and I look at Linda today. Her movement is good. She's looking for the ball, whereas that probably 2 years ago she didn't do that. So been very impressed with her. As in from the backs, courses are winning the 50-50 battles. Breaking ball, they're winning. They're attacking the ball. So I think Inniscarra are in a lot of trouble.
Trace?
Yes, I think Paddy has summed it up really well. I suppose after a quarter of an hour or so, we were wondering, of course, if this game was going to pass them by again. But they got their act together, and once they got a couple of scores on the board, and then they shot over 4 or 5 points. And of course, the goals have been so significant. Fiona Keating and Linda Collins, and these would have been the players we would have flagged for them beforehand that they need to step up and to perform for them. And certainly, with exception to the opening period, Inniscarra have really come in, or Courcey Rovers have really come into this game, and their passing game and everything, it's spot on. There's no ball being spilled there around the middle of the field. They're so accurate to each other, and they look like a team like that really believe in each other now. They didn't when they started this game, but they're there now, and they can kind of feel there's another half an hour to go, but it's within their grasp.
The management team for Inniscarra of Kevin Murphy, Irene O'Keefe, Martin Murphy, Joe Hurley, Ger Dinan and Liz Hayes. What do you think they're discussing on that pitch right now? What kind of changes do you think they might make, if any?
Well, I suppose first of all I would have to say it's great to see Irene O'Keefe in there again. Irene O'Keefe has 5 All-Ireland senior medals, probably put Inniscarra on the map just before Rena came, so she certainly knows a lot about winning and losing. Yeah, they'll be wondering how they get back into it. They'll be wondering how they'll get their key forwards, get ball into them, and they just basically need scores. They need to come out and they need to get unanswered scores, when this game resumes.
The management team are away from the players at the moment, Paddy. Are they kind of letting the players talk among themselves and take ownership of this?
I suppose, look, half time, you're leaving the players, get their thoughts. First 5 minutes, just get their thoughts and, relax. Look, players know whether they're playing well or playing poorly, and I think there's enough experience in that group of players to know what to do. I think the big thing from Inniscarra point of view is what are they going to do at midfield. To me, they're in serious trouble there, and a lot of the big players, I expected more from Claudia Keane today. Very promising underage player. Katie O'Mahony is not going well, and if Katie O'Mahony is going well, Inniscarra are going well. So Joanne Casey is another girl that you need to come in. Aileen Sheehan, Rosie O'Mahony, all those need to move up a gear.
They're champion players though, aren't they, as Paddy has mentioned there, so they'll know that themselves, and just because it hasn't gone well in the first half for them, it doesn't mean it won't go well in the second. That's what separates good teams from great teams, and Inniscarra, I think it's fair to say, are if not great, on the verge of it.
Okay, it's an 8 point difference between the teams at the moment. Inniscarra have been in these positions before, and they won't panic. If it was vice versa now, I'd be more worried about Courcey Rovers, because I think would get inside their heads. But Inniscarra won't panic at all with this. But that said, they need to get some scores on the board when this game resumes, because if you go another 10 minutes into the second half and you're not cutting that deficit, and no doubt Paddy says this is the scoring goal down here, Courcey's they'll come out now determined to drive on. They'll know, look, another 30 minutes, there's history going to be made here today. And we saw last year what hunger did for Sarsfields. Okay, Inniscarra have experience, but you can't do anything about hunger. And this is evident here again today, that Courcey Rovers are the hungrier team at the moment.
And they're the ones who are certainly hungry for scores. 2-5 since the water break for them. Their first score of the game didn't come until the 13th minute. After that, they got 3 in a row. We questioned whether the water break came at the wrong time. It certainly didn't for Courcey Rovers. It didn't kind of stifle them, did it, Paddy?
No, they kept the rhythm. Hunger, okay, yeah. I suppose my view of hunger is that you're in a county final. Both teams should be the same hunger-wise, and certainly if you look at it up to now, there's something missing out of Inniscarra, and to me it's a big worry. Going into the second half, down 8 points, it's hard to see how they're going to come out of it. They'll definitely have to get a goal early on. Where that's going to come from, I don't know at this stage,
1-5 since the water break for Courcey Rovers. Niamh Dilworth stopped the rot somewhat for Inniscarra with a free, but even her striking hasn't been particularly good from place balls. Trace, they need to get that right, or she needs to get that right, doesn't she?
Yeah, but it all kind of rubs off each other. I mean, they're not winning possession around the middle of the field. Their forwards, like the breaking ball isn't coming to them. The frees aren't going over. She did get an important one there, but everything seems to be kind of a bit shaky and flaky at the moment for them. Whereas Courcey Rovers they can't do any wrong.
Well, we've just heard the Inniscarra team kind of shout, and they're showing eagerness, but we won't really know until the ball is thrown in again, Paddy, will we?
Oh, shit. Sometimes those things can be left inside in the dressing room, to be brutally honest with you. And
as a manager, do you know?
I think you do. You get your vibes very, very early on, whether your team is up to it or not. But look, the talking has to be done on the pitch, and look, the first 5 minutes is going to tell an awful lot. I think an interesting thing is whether Niamh Dilworth will be left on freeze, and whether it will be Joanne Casey, who can strike him equally as good, if not better, will take over that role.
I think Erin Looney, O'Sheen, seems to be in there for Inniscarra. If my eyes aren't deceiving me, I think it's number 8 here. And Erin missed the semi-final. She was injured and didn't start today. So that's one change I can see out there.
It's harsh on the player taking off at half time in a county final, Paddy, but when you've underperformed as much as they have, do you have to make maybe at least one change just to send a message?
Absolutely. Well, I think that probably there's probably more than one change needed at this stage, and that people aren't performing. You've got to be ruthless and you've got to make those decisions early on.
So away we go. Inniscarra looking for a fast start, and they have got it. Can't get any better than that.
Great strike from Joanne Casey,
Yeah.
and herself and Claudia Kino are taking up the midfield partnership. So it'll be interesting to see will they gain control there.
Casey's 4th of the game. Sinead O'Reilly going long. The puck out's carrying a bit more from that end. Inniscarra trying to win the ball in the middle, as they did for the first 10 minutes or so of this game, and built up a 5 points to no score lead, if you can believe it, having just tuned in. Kavanagh got rid of the hurling, got the ball away. Well, that's a brilliant piece of play from Fiona Keating. Keating trying to shake off the tackler. Cathal McAllister lets it go, and that's what you want to see. Good physicality. Aoife Kavanagh sending the ball on. Inniscarra looking to use it a bit better. They're not hitting it blindly. Out to meet it there was Ellen Murphy. Murphy has an option inside, but will take it on herself. And that was tough when she had 3 defenders around her.
Yeah, poor decision. She had a player inside, and all she had to do was offload it, and certainly would have had a better chance of getting a score.
That's a really good take on the bounce. Inniscarra on top, down that middle. Aileen Sheehan trying to get there. Inniscarra win the first real ruck of the game. Katie O'Mahony, her first real ruck of the second half, tries to float it across. Who's it going to break to? Red rather than blue. Or red and white, I should say, but you know who I mean. Keohane spilled it into the path of her teammate, and she runs into trouble. Well taken, off it goes. Joanne Casey. Casey has players inside. She's smothered. That's really good defence. Courcey Rovers with some more defending to do, as the notes that I had that blew away are retrieved and handed back to us. That's a shot from a tight angle which goes wide. But it's all Inniscarra so far in the second half.
Yeah, they're attacking the ball at this stage, and look, they have to at this stage of the game that they need to pull back an 8-point lead. So it's more of this from Inniscarra is what they need.
Inniscarra management not too happy with the delay in the puck out. Clever stuff from Sinead O'Reilly, just trying to take the sting out of Inniscarra. They'll have the experience of being dominated by them and getting back into the game, Courcey Rovers, so they won't panic too much at this stage. They still have a comfortable lead. Inniscarra will try and make it that little bit more uncomfortable as we march on. Erin Looney goes long-ish. Ball might break here for Jacinta Crowley. That's fantastic work from Courcey Rovers again. Crowley. I was going to say a clever pass. Well, it was a good pass, but Maloney couldn't hang on to it. Cathal McAllister playing advantage. Claudia Keane. Very smart defending, got out in front to Keohane, but then just couldn't take it up properly. That's a really smart take. And went charging and gives away the free. Kind of threw herself at the player there, Aileen Sheehan.
Yeah, I mean, Courcey Rovers' defence has been under pressure there, because I think Joanne Casey has turned it into the game and really putting pressure on there. But they're getting the flicks in, they're blocking, they're hooking, and not afraid to put the body on the line there. And that's what you need to do. And of all days to do it, you need to do it in the county final.
Yeah, and I think Aisling Maloney is sitting back, playing that role very, very well. I don't think club-wise there's probably a better player that can play the sweeper role and just clogging up anything that is threatening in around the goal.
And the management team of Courcey Rovers: Mike Boland, Shirley Maloney, Kevin Hannon, Joey Gallagher, Martin Enright, Mark O'Sullivan, Nuala O'Reilly, Rebecca Crowley and Sean Duggan. Yeah,
Shirley, of course, is a sister to the girl we're just talking about there, Aisling Maloney. A lot of sisters and families and cousins, I suppose, in both teams, Oisin.
As is the case with all clubs and teams around the country. Like the Ballyhale team today in the county final against Dixborough in Kilkenny. And I suppose like every team that gets to a county final is always cousins, brothers. Although last night we had Luke Horgan and Patrick Horgan, the Horgan brothers, who are no way related.
No. Luke is actually just out of minor. He'll be a fine player as well.
Yeah, he looked good now, in fairness to him. Courcey Rovers, will they settle down having had a bumpy start to the second half? Here's Fiona Keating. They'd want her on the ball as much as possible, especially in these positions. An unusual ball forward. Rena Buckley, well, it looked risky, but I'll give Rena the benefit of the doubt that she knew exactly what she was doing there.
Yeah, you would hope that, to be honest.
If there is anyone that gets the benefit of the doubt, it's Rena.
Could have hopped the other way in 2 seconds.
Katie O'Mahony. Lovely ball forward. What can they do with it? A strike off the wing.
No.
Looks like it's going to go across the face of goal.
That's
and
another
wide.
poor choice there. The score's actually going a begging at both ends, but the most important thing is that Courcey's are still keeping their distance and Inniscarra have just got 1 point.
Ciara Ring missing that one. Sinead O'Reilly. Nothing too tactical about her puck out. She's just going long and hoping that her teammates win it around the middle, as they did do for most of the second half, but not, or most of the first half, but they haven't done that in the second. Joanne Casey. That's going to drop. Really strong keeping by O'Reilly. Sends it out to Emer O'Reilly. One O'Reilly to another.
Sisters.
Rosie O'Mahony winds up. Ball breaks. Breaks kindly for Inniscarra. Aileen Sheehan. And slowly but surely they're chipping away at that lead. Sheehan with her first of the game.
Yeah, and I think that the two O'Mahonys in around the middle of the field, Aileen Sheehan, Joanne Casey, are all have come into the game in the last 5 minutes.
Courcey Rovers yet to score in the second half. They'll try and do something about that now. O'Regan was under that, couldn't get a clean strike. It's Fiona Keating. Fiona Keating is in on goal here. Fiona Keating! Fantastic save again by the goalkeeper, but they'll get another chance and they will finish it this time. And it's a third goal for Courcey Rovers. Really good work by Fiona Keating. She was denied the first time, but not the second time.
Listen, that's a very big score for Courcey Rovers when we see Inniscarra just, trying to get back the deficit. But in fairness to her, she did an awful lot of work to get that score. She was shut down the first time, but that's a big score now at this stage for Courcey Rovers.
I think that's one of Fiona's strong points, is when she comes out, wins the ball, turns on and takes on defence. She's very, very hard to stop.
She scored 2-2 in this game. And we're not done yet. That's not a bad ratio of scores in a county final. Saoirse McCarthy had no room there, but somehow she managed to sneak her way out through the maze. Delivered a fantastic ball. Can they finish off this move? Linda Collins. That is wonderful. It's almost as if they were waiting for me to bait them. I had just said they hadn't scored in the second half, and now they've scored 1-1.
I just love watching Linda Collins. I mean, that ball nearly just fell into her hand. I mean, it just sticks to it. And a fabulous point there again.
But it wasn't a blind ball, Paddy. They seemed to know what they were doing there.
No, measured ball in. Linda showed great movement inside, and one of the best strikers of the ball around at the moment, and has played really, really well today.
18 points to 8. Even at this stage, even with this score, you still wouldn't write off Inniscarra, but it's looking very good for Courcey Rovers at this stage. But they've been there, they've done that. They know that these things are hard won, and the job is not done yet. Just evades Fiona Keating. Aoife Kavanagh can't get it up. Keating would not give up on that. Kavanagh goes to ground. Colin McAllister, I think, is going to go for the clash ball here.
Yeah, at this stage I think is a long ways back for Inniscarra, and you'd expect courses to close the game out from now on.
You're still kind of expecting an Inniscarra comeback, though, being Inniscarra.
Well, that's what they do best, But I mean, before Courcey's goal, you would have given them a chance because they came out fighting in the second half. But the third goal from Courcey's now, it's a mountain to climb for them. But, here they go again.
The old warrior, Rena Buckley, took it out of defence and delivered it well. They could do it a goal very soon in Inniscarra. They're going to need a couple, one presumes. Toomey. Really calm stuff. Crowley. Fiona Keating is waiting for it. If Collins can find her. She can. It was not the cleanest of passes, and Rena Buckley takes it. O'Regan has been tangled with there. Runs into a crowd of 4 players, has the advantage coming. Looney sends it down the wing.
Yeah.
Really good turn. Maloney. Getting over at Lorraine Collins. Collins takes it. Keating's inside. Keating's in on goal. If she scores this, surely that's game over. Keating! The keeper can't keep it out. It's a 3rd goal for Fiona Keating. 3-2 overall for her now. Courcey Rovers 4-9 in Inniscarra. 8 points, and surely that's game.
Oh yeah, and I mean, look, Sheila Walsh, she got to stick to it, but it just crept in over the line. But what a performance we're getting here today from Fiona Keating. We always knew what a talented player she was, but this is where you want to see it. You know, the people who are here want to see those players, and they want to see what they're capable of, and she's definitely turning it on today.
Courcey Rovers taking the line ball. What do you do from an Inniscarra point of view here, Paddy? Is there anything you can do?
I think at this stage is very little. You just have to keep plugging away and hope that you get a break on the other side. But, it's all courses at this stage.
Sheila Walsh, she's conceded 4, but she's actually made a lot of decent saves in this game, including one in the lead up to one of the goals.
Yeah, I don't think you can fault her really with the goals that went in.
Fiona Keating has kind of taken over for Courcey Rovers. Found the net on the second attempt a couple of minutes ago, then found the net there on the first attempt. Inniscarra, as we say, not done yet. They're in on goal. That's another fantastic save. Sinead O'Reilly scoops it away, but the referee is giving, is it a free or a penalty? I think it's a free for a little tug back. Yep, it's free.
Yeah, it was Aileen Sheehan, I think, that was dragged down there, but they needed, she needed to be let go there, but Courcey Rovers did the right thing because it was 1-on-1, but Inniscarra need a goal now, not a point really. And maybe they are going for that. The arenas coming up.
I think they have to, don't they?
I think at this stage they have to, even though in Camogie very few of these are converted to a score, so, it's a big decision.
Buckley has to settle for the point.
Yeah, just went over the bar. Oisin, I'd say she was maybe looking to get in, top corner or something. Just a point to return.
Inniscarra need to do a bit of an antrim against Offaly in the 80s, don't they? But they're not going to do it that way. They've given away the free.
Well, Courcey's came with a point to prove as well today to Inniscarra, because it was they who denied them in 2 years ago, and I suppose when you're thinking about that, and they had it all to play for today, really.
Yeah, I think probably the big thing as well, between today and 2 years ago, is that they have probably forgotten about the occasion and gone after Inniscarra, showed great desire and fought for everything, which to me is always key.
Drops wide. Inniscarra working it out. Aoife Kavanagh. Fiona Keating blocks her down, and she's getting some backup now. Kavanagh, much to her credit, does get it away to Rosie O'Mahony. Aoife Kavanagh. This time no issue from Kavanagh. Great catch. Inniscarra follow up, but I don't think they're going to get there. Keeper Sinead O'Reilly over that one. The defenders in to help out. Inniscarra desperately fighting for this one. It's Looney. And it's another save, but it might just bounce in. It has. And what did we say about a champion team like Inniscarra? You just don't give up on them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sinead O'Reilly came off her line there. She came out maybe when she didn't need to come out, because the backs were already looking after the ball. and it left the goal opened. Look, it doesn't matter what way the goals are scored, but it certainly was a score that Inniscarra needed. And if they get another goal, it would give them momentum again and a bit of belief.
Well, they have the possession. Joanne Casey. She's got goal in mind, even from that far out. Joanne Casey's
She's
still
two
going.
players inside
Soon to
her.
beat. She lets it go. Keeper
Ooh.
flicks it up in the air.
I think it was a great effort by the goalie,
Yeah.
to be fair, because that had goal written all over it.
I think they're trying to determine, did it go over the bar or did
I
it go
thought
out
it
for
went wide
45?
45 from this angle. That's why I stayed silent for a second,
It was
because I
an
was looking at the
absolutely
umpires.
super save.
Yeah.
But there was 2 free players inside. If Joanne had looked up and passed the ball in. So it is a 45.
Yep. Well, I thought so initially, but when they didn't make the decision, I said I'll stay quiet till the flag goes up or the hands go up or the decision is made. They took their time, but they came to the right decision. That's the most important
I'd
thing.
say
It will be.
it was such a shot and it flew so quickly, they were unsure where it was gone.
And sometimes from that angle, you're actually nearly too close to it as an umpire. Now, I've only
Yes.
ever umpired Junior B, but still.
It's a big free for Joanna.
Does she tap it over or does she drop it in?
Yeah, I'd say.
I just keep tipping away at the scoreboard, and
Yeah.
let's see what happens with the last 10 minutes.
So a goal and a point has given Inniscarra some hope, and the water break comes, and it's 4-9 Courcey Rovers, 1-10 Inniscarra. How much difference does that make to the team talk, to the players and for the managers that Inniscarra run towards the end?
I think that I suppose the message I'd be giving to Inniscarra at the moment is to keep working the scoreboard. I think if they can win the ball in around the middle of the field and run at Courcey's, I think they have them in trouble, rather than sometimes driving the ball in. It's coming in a small bit aimless inside. So just keep tipping away at the scoreboard. I think that's key.
And they're capable of closing that gap, Inniscarra. They have the firepower.
Oh, they are. I mean, Courcey Rovers wouldn't want to be thinking that this game is over, and I'm sure that they're not either. Because another goal, if Inniscarra can get another goal there, Courcey Rovers will be wondering, here we go again, kind of thing. But I mean, 4-9 is a great score in a county final, and they're not finished yet. So it's Courcey Rovers to win now, and they should keep their focus, keep doing what they've been doing all day.
The Irish Examiner delighted to bring you coverage of the SE Systems Cork Senior Camogie Club final. It is Inniscarra against Courcey Rovers. Whatever happens, there will be, well, not new champions in a sense that Inniscarra have won it before, but Sarsfield's, the defending champions, are gone, so we'll have a different name on the trophy to last year's. Don't forget, later on, via the Irish Examiner, you can watch Ballincollig against Nemo Rangers in the Bond Secures Cork Senior Football Championship semi-final. Nemo Rangers, the current AIB Munster Club champions.
I think Christine O'Neill is going off his course, is making a change, but
It's a small crowd, but they're making a big noise, Paddy. How much difference does that make to the players?
I suppose, look, coming down the back straight, it always helps to have that support behind you. But I actually think probably it was probably a blessing in one way that supporters didn't come in here from Courcey's point of view, and that it probably would have they've been more relaxed about their play.
Looney just evades the centre back Aisling Maloney. She's backed up by her teammate. Don't let her out is the shout. It's a free out for Courcey Rovers.
I think as
rather
well,
easy free to give away. Lazy, just pulling the jersey. All they had to do was just keep tracking her and hope to turn the ball over.
Can they get it into the hand of one of the Collins? This time it's Linda who's chasing after it. Linda Collins wins it really well. She has options inside. She might take it on herself, Linda Collins. That's a fantastic score.
Yeah, absolutely. And Linda, great movement. I just one thing that has puzzled me with Inniscarra, and that they've left a lot of space in front of the inside line all day.
it's 1-4 now, from Linda Collins. And what's happening with Courcey Rovers, their big players are coming up trumps and they're getting the scores, and that's the difference. And they're starting to run down their bench now as well. Maybe a little bit early, but it's going to upset Inniscarra. Anytime they see them making inroads, they can make a substitution.
Well, just as at half time, Courcey Rovers had an 8-point lead going into the water break as we move into the fourth quarter. This is the danger with the water breaks. You've got commentators forgetting they're not Yanks and calling it quarters rather than halves and things like that. And I'm not even that into NFL. As far as I'm concerned, Sunday nights are for Glenroe and the Sunday game, not NFL. Maybe match of the day too. And this evening, of course, Ballincollig against Nemo Rangers via the Irish Examiner.
Ashley Maloney involved in that again. I think she's had a really, really solid game. Centre back today for Courcey.
And of course, her sister Rachel was a great player for Cork, All-Ireland medalist, and she's watching us from Madrid today.
I was about to say sunny Madrid, but it can get cold there as
Maybe.
much as it can get cold in Cork as well. I'm sure it's pleasant enough at the moment. Saoirse McCarthy, brilliant feet. Lost it, won it back again, lost it, won it back again. And they get the free in. That passage of play sums up the day for Courcey Rovers so far, doesn't it?
Look, if you looked at it, you have 4 Inniscarra who won Courcey's, and she still comes out with the ball. And terrific play from Saoirse. I think this is probably one of her better games that she's played for the club this year, you know.
Yeah, like Saoirse McCarthy, Linda Collins, Fiona Keating, they absolutely
Must be
immense.
something to do with the training they're getting from us.
Absolutely, Paddy.
Mike
You
Boland
can
might have a
see.
different view of that, but I had to put that in.
Yeah, but
Well, whatever is being done with them by whoever, it is working. And that's another one going over from Jacinta Crowley. 4-11 plays 110.
it augurs well for Cork Camogie as the championship starting now, Paddy, doesn't it? I mean, you're seeing great talent out there.
Yeah, look, obviously Fiona is in with us for the first year. Probably a girl that we have her eye on for a long time, and I know she's a dual player, which probably will be difficult for her, but I've always thought that she's a better hurler than a footballer, even though other people might disagree with that.
Of course, she's going for the double today, yeah.
Going for the double, and we'll be hoping an awful lot or a lot out of her this year.
Well, West Cork surprised many by beating Mourneabbey in the Cork Ladies Senior Final, didn't they?
They did, yes. Well, I suppose, look, Mourneabbey have been around a long time and they've achieved an awful lot as well. It was a first for West Cork. So if Fiona Keating if Courcey's can hold out here, she's going to have won her first county ladies football and Camogie medal at senior.
And if you missed that game, by the way, you can watch it back, as you can do all the games at the Irish Examiner show. Running into trouble there was Ellen Murphy. Courcey Rovers turn her over. And the ball trickles into the path of Aileen Sheehan. Sheehan just boots it forward, showing the footballing skills. They've won the free, and that's a good result for Courcey Rovers, because it's highly unlikely you'd concede a goal from that kind of free. And they'll be happy enough to let them tap a point over, although Rena's coming forward, which suggests they are going for goal.
Well, I think they need a goal at this stage, but I think Courcey's are doing the right thing. Just, slow the game down, and, if they leave them take if they don't concede a goal, they'll win the game.
Looking for their first score since the water break in Inniscarra. Rena goes for it. There wasn't much in it, but it went over rather than under.
It
and
was
it's a point.
identical to the last one she came up and took, just about a foot over the bar.
Sinead O'Reilly, who's had a very good game today. Well won by Courcey Rovers. Might find its way to Saoirse McCarthy. Great work from McCarthy. It's 2-on-2 inside. McCarthy might take it on herself. She's got an option to the left. She does take it on herself. Now pops it to Collins. Collins! Goal number 2 for her. And it looks like Courcey Rovers will get their hands on the senior championship for the very first time.
Oh yeah, game over at this stage, and great run by Saoirse, and try to do the right thing and offload it.
Game, set and match, I'd say, at this stage. And we've had brilliant goals. Absolutely. They finished them so well.
I think the one thing that Courcey's have done to great effect is that they've ran at the Inniscarra defence all day, and with the likes of Saoirse and Fiona coming at you, it's very hard to stop it.
About 6 minutes to go. Sheehan Foul there by Keating. Keating, who scored 3-2 in a county final. That's a day to remember for her.
Yeah, and if you look at her contribution to date as well, I think was a 3-10 coming in today, which nothing from free, so I think it's a phenomenal return from her.
Jacinta Crowley goes long. It's 2-on-2 inside. Now Inniscarra have got backup coming, but Collins is holding it up. Gets away from Linda Collins this time, but not for the want of effort. Ellen Murphy fumbles it, or I beg your pardon, that's Rebecca Keane. She was essentially mauled into touch there, rugby style. She does get the free.
Yeah, but a great effort from Courcey's still fighting very, very hard. And, it has been just one example of the way they played all day.
Bounces kindly for the defender. And she's blown for charging, and it's a free in for Inniscarra, and again they have to go for goal.
Yeah, they'll just try and drop this one in, I'd say, Oisin, but certainly time is not in their favour now at this stage.
Joanne Casey, she has to kind of Paul Flynn it. Settles for the point. Probably knew that going for that kind of crossbar challenge type of goal wasn't going to work, so just take the point while it was there.
I think it would have been a big ask to go for goal from that point of view.
I wonder, do the younger viewers know what I mean when I say Paul Flynn it into the net? If you're to believe Dan Shanahan, he told Donal Logan, the Rock, that Flynn was going to go for goal, and they didn't believe him because he had seen him try it in training. Free out for Inniscarra.
Yeah, you can see the Inniscarra, the Courcey Rovers bench over now. They've come out of the dugout and they're beginning to realise that this is their day now. That this is not going to slip away from them, and it's a fantastic feeling, for any player, your first county title. And they haven't had this before, and they're really going to enjoy this now for the next week or so. There's Munster Club Championship coming down the line next weekend, but they won't even have thought about that.
Well, with the restrictions there, they can't celebrate too wildly anyway, so that's the job done for the management.
Hope not, Oisin. Not to see any house parties around Garrettstown or Ballinspittle tonight.
Well, one thing they did during lockdown was they did Zoom training.
Yeah.
Shirley Maloney organised it and, kept them all together and created a bond and physically kept them in shape as well.
And they look every bit of that, don't they? A team that are united.
Yes, very united. And you can see it in their play and their passing movements as well. They almost know where everybody is going to be.
Inniscarra making a change. Coming in is Jenny Burke. Didn't quite catch who went off, but Rena Buckley's being moved forward. Well, a weekend of spectacular scores. Fiona Keating with 3 goals here. Linda Collins with 2 decent ones as well. David Clifford and Kerry in the football. More to come tonight, maybe between Ballincollig and Nemo Rangers. You'll be able to watch that game live on the Irish Examiner. Robbie O'Flynn with a wonder goal for Erin's Own last night again. That game covered live on the Irish Examiner. Wasn't enough for Erin's Own in the end. They lost out to Glen Rovers, who'll go on to play Blackrock in the Co-op Superstores Cork Senior Hurling Final. Blackrock looking to end a long wait, 2002, but Courcey Rovers have had the longest wait of all. They've never won the Senior Camogie Club Championship, and they are going to end that wait today. But they'll have to wait another few minutes, and they have a bit of work to do.
Yeah, but look, it's great to see them. I think it's good for Camogie as well to have a new name on again this year. That it probably gives other teams a chance now for next season, and that if they can see Courcey's can do it, they might think they have a chance as well.
Good advantage played by the referee. It's a free for Inniscarra. It's a clever one to give away from the Courcey Rovers' point of view, and it's good for Camogie, as you were saying, in Cork, Puddy, in a sense that in the last 3 years you'll have 3 different champions: Inniscarra 2018, Sarsfields last year, and now Courcey Rovers this year.
Yeah, it does, and people sitting down in, we'll say, December, January, looking at next year, look, they'll all feel that there's a possibility now.
Joanne Casey. Even a goal at this stage would probably do little for them, but much to their credit, Inniscarra will battle on. That one didn't quite work out. It was worth the punt, I suppose, and Courcey Rovers will go looking for more. Who else? Fiona Keating. Well defended, but Courcey Rovers won't mind too much because there's no way Inniscarra can get the amount of scores they desperately need at this stage. Joanne Casey runs into a bit of bother and catches the break there. She wins the line ball.
But Inniscarra have been the dominant team, going back for the last decade or so. Prior to doing the 3 in a row, they came up against a very good Milford team. So Inniscarra had been knocking on the door for a while, and today now it's just a turn of somebody else.
Yeah, and I think the big difference as well is that it's probably the newer players within Inniscarra really that haven't come up to form. And I think that's always the tricky thing with we'll say a team that is aging. It's the conveyor belt. It's very, very important that conveyor belt is full, and a lot of the younger players haven't played well today.
Buckley was looking across the field, didn't meet her intended target. That was Claudia Keane. Inniscarra battling on for it, Aileen Sheehan.
In fairness to Aileen Sheehan, she's tried really hard. She's been one of the players who's tried to turn the tide in their favour.
Crowley fires it away.
Push.
Bounces into the path of Linda Collins. Linda Collins, does she have the pace to get away? Linda Collins still going. Linda Collins, who's on a hat-trick of goals. Linda Collins has to settle for another point. And that's 5 she's got in this game. 2-5 for Linda Collins. That is not a bad day for any corner forward, is it?
Yeah, and it's the way she gets the ball, it's the way she turns, it's her mobility. She's a beautiful camogie player, very stylish, and it's great to see her turn out that performance here today.
She kind of glided over the ground there, Paul.
She just gets the ball into her hand. Yeah,
I think from a Cork point of view, Linda has always had that ability, but sometimes probably doesn't show it. So I would be hoping after today that she's coming into our setup with massive confidence.
Grania Hannon just standing in the way of Rena Buckley's attempted free. She won't mind too much getting this telling off by the referee. A free is brought forward, but again at this stage it matters not. It's tough on Inniscarra. The scoreline is, I was going to say harsh, it's not really, because if you're beaten 5-12 to 1-12, you're beaten 5-12 to 1-12, but it's tough on a team that have given so much to Cork Camogie in the last while and given so much to their own parish. They'll try and finish with a bit of a flourish, but unfortunately for them it goes wide.
Yeah, but I don't think they can have any complaints walking away from here today. They've been beaten by a better team, and that's it,
And their junior B team lost the county final yesterday in Inniscarra, so it's a disappointing weekend, but they're still a great club, there's still great players out there.
There is time for more, although Cathal McAllister has the whistle in the mouth. Aoife Kavanagh. Well taken by Erin Looney. Came on in the second half. Here's Joanne Casey. Casey gets the shot away, but the story of this game has been the work rate of Courcey Rovers. They've given nothing easy to Inniscarra, and Casey, despite the fact that Courcey Rovers have the game won, she was pounced upon by the defence. Inniscarra, as you would expect, having given up and trying to bash her way through, is Ellen Murphy. Here's Joanne Casey.
Oh.
And it zips across the face of goal and wide.
Yeah, but great work back there by Courcey's. Ciara Hayes is a girl that probably deserves a mention as well, in that I thought she's hurled extremely well all day, and throughout the championship she's been one of the real driving forces at the back.
Yes,
well, they're in celebratory mood, Courcey Rovers.
Yeah, I think they're giving their subs a run now, which is lovely to see, to give them a taste of what it's like here on the county final day. But at the moment, the play is held up as one of the Inniscarra forwards is down injured.
Yeah, we mentioned the scorers an awful lot in big games, but as Paudie just said, players like Ciara Hayes and players like that really stood up today, didn't they? And Sinead O'Reilly was good between the sticks. Orla Toomey worked incredibly hard. Hannon and Keohane in the back line. Adela Maloney, like they all deserve credit.
Yeah, their goalie, who probably in a couple of earlier games looked a small bit shaky, has been excellent. Puck outs in particular have been really, really good, and she has certainly played her part.
The celebrations have already started on the sideline for Courcey Rovers. I don't think even they could have imagined that the gap would be so wide.
Well, do you know, the form they were showing all year in the last few months in the championship did suggest that they had the ability to do this. But the key was that the three big forwards, that they would have to perform, and they have certainly done that today.
Adele Maloney, who we just mentioned a couple of minutes ago. It's all over. Courcey Rovers, for the first time, are the SE Systems Cork Senior Club Camogie champions, and you can just see and feel the pain of 2 years ago evaporate. What a day for Courcey Rovers, deserving champions.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, scoreboard 5-12 is a great score. Will win any game. So, hurled very, very well. Delighted for Mick Boland as well. Has done a lot of work over the last 2 or 3 years with courses. I must avoid the School of Com in the morning anyway, because I'm sure he'll be at the bridge waiting for me.
Or maybe not.
First time winners as well, and that makes it even more special for them.
Oh, I think, they have no idea what this is going to feel like. It'll be sinking in, this afternoon, tonight. And but fully deserving, as Paudie has mentioned already. They're fully deserving of it. Like, other than a slow start, I suppose once they got over that, they settled into this game. And they've been tremendous, absolutely tremendous. And, for me, this is the perfect county final display from any team.
Well, from the neutral point of view, you'd like it to be a little bit closer, but Paudie, Courcey Rovers, they won't care, because they're able to savour this and have done for the last few minutes, and you can just see out there what it means to them.
Yeah, it's a great position to be in, down the back straight, and knowing that you have the game wrapped up, even for the management on the line, and you can bring on your few subs as well, which is nice for them. So but look, you have the likes of Fiona Keating, Linda Collins, Saoirse, any forward line, you're going to trouble any opposition. Ashley Maloney, centre back, I thought was outstanding. Ciara Hayes, their goalie. So they've had good performance all over the field.
Yeah, Jacinta Crowley, I thought as well. She was excellent from the frees, and when you compare maybe the Inniscarra frees and the choices they took it sometimes, and this was early in the game when they needed to get those scores. So once they drew level with Inniscarra early on, they just grew in confidence throughout, and great performance, and they all rode in here, and defensively as well. 110 speaks very highly of their backline as well.
If you have a winning team, unfortunately, it means you have to have a losing team. A word on Inniscarra, it's an achievement to get to a final, but they won't take consolation from that. They came here to win, and ultimately they didn't, because they didn't perform.
Yeah, and I'd say that they'll be disappointed. I expected more from them, to be honest. Saw them in the semi-final against the Bars, and I thought they played quite well and managed the game very, very well. But today they had no answer. Look, I suppose a lot of their senior players did really try their best. But as I said, touched on earlier, probably the younger players didn't perform to the required standard.
And I suppose as well, you have to remember they were without one of their key forwards, Niamh McCarthy. She's a very intelligent player, and an inter-county standard player, and they missed that, Paudie, didn't they, inside in their forward line? They missed somebody with that ability.
Yeah, I think that Niamh McCarthy, to me, is a very underestimated player. She is very, very intelligent, but her work rate inside the full forward line is normally of a very, very high standard, and she'll hold the ball in there. And my views are, if the ball is held in there, well, then your opposition, you're giving them that bit of a break. So she's been a huge loss.
I was going to ask you to describe, Trace, what the captain will feel when she comes up to lift this trophy, but I think it's a feeling that's probably indescribable.
Yeah, I mean, she won't know how this is going to feel, really, and at the moment, I mean, there is so much hype and celebrations, and they're down at one end of the field there. This is a moment to remember for all of them. But it's when they look back on it, they'll talk about this tonight and tomorrow and during the week. But they'll still be on a high from this performance. Like, there's winning county finals and there's winning them by a 4-goal margin as well. And to come up here and to truly dominate. And they've had a great year. They've come right through the group stages and they have been unbeaten.
Well, they're calling them over on the PA. Obviously, there are time limits to being in a pitch at the moment for all the obvious reasons and all the COVID restrictions. The Courcey Rovers team will make their way over now. You can hear them even if you can't see them, although I'm presuming you can do both.
And I think as well you have to say great credit to the Courcey Rovers supporters. I mean, it's very easy jumping over this fence here, but they have been advised for COVID-19 reasons not to come on the field. And it must be very tempting to see their family members inside the field here and to come in and to hug them and to celebrate with them. But they've all stayed on the stand.
Much credit to them. So a magic moment for Courcey Rovers, one that they will remember forever. They're not done yet this year, of course. They'll turn their concentration to the AIB Club Championship.
Champions, Ina Kilnamona in the Munster Club, but I would say Oisin, that is the furthest thing from their mind now.
They won't be thinking about it right now. Maybe Tuesday they'll give it some thought.
And I think it's a difficult ask. That to turn around next week. I thought it was poor out of the Munster board to have the Munster Championship on so quickly afterwards. I think that the right decision would have been in January. You must remember as well as that we're back from an inter-county scene, and we've 3 girls that if they want to have any interest in staking a claim on our starting 15, they need to be with us as well. So I just think that it was badly thought out.
Warm round of applause, and rightfully so for the 2 teams, because it does take 2 teams to make a final, doesn't it, Trace?
It does, and one player we haven't mentioned much is Christine O'Neill, the Courcey Rovers father, full forward. Christine is one of the more established players on this team, and you see her there out in the field celebrating, what it means to her. She's been a long time with Courcey Rovers and, have never won any title with them.
Yeah, and I think that the change actually this year, moving her into the inside line, has helped Courcey's. And I spoke about Niamh McCarthy holding the ball up. She's doing that for Courcey's as well, as when the ball goes in there, she's able to hold it up and probably stop it from being quickly moved through the lines from an Inniscarra point of view.
Well, they're thanking the sponsors at the moment, SE Systems, and a championship. Well, it can run without a sponsor, but it's certainly a big boost to get one, and fair play to SE Systems, because you need businesses to get behind your sport, don't you?
Yeah, and they've been involved now for a couple of years, and we had the posters up here as well from SE Systems.
Well, delighted to bring you this game through the Irish Examiner. Remember, coming up a little bit later, it's the Bond Secures Cork Senior Football Championship semi-final between Nemo Rangers and Ballincollig. That one throws in at 7:30. And remember, if you want to watch this game back or any game that we've shown live, you can do so through the Irish Examiner. We're building up to a magic moment for Courcey Rovers now, and even though there's not a big crowd in, I think we'll have to maybe turn down the microphones when they lift this trophy, because there will be one hell of a noise.
And that we are truly honoured that the Examiner privileged us with this honour, and we thank them most sincerely. And we thank Praise, and we thank Claudia, and all those that have been.
You two have just got to thank you. That's nice to hear, isn't it?
Seldom you get it from Mary.
Well, it's recorded, Paddy, so you can play it back whenever you want. We'll cut
do
down
that
the bit.
A few times.
We'll get your video analyst to cut that down.
Well,
and keep
you see,
playing
Oisin,
it.
this is the first time. I mean, it's strange in a way that it had to be COVID-19 for us to get the Camogie final, streamed. But it's the way things have gone. You're trying to think outside of the box, and all the matches that are being streamed. And it's fantastic to see that that the Examiner did get involved with this, and to be here and to enjoy the occasion and celebrate it on a historic day for Courcey Rovers.
We will try and get an interview if we can with one of the players afterwards, but the primary piece of business is the lifting of the trophy.
I think the other thing there, just to mention, is our referee today. I thought he has done a really, really good job. And, as I said before the game, any game that he has refereed this year has always seemed to be a very exciting game,
So Linda Millerick, a bit of a Camogie legend herself, is about to announce the player of the game.
Well, SE Systems are her sister and her
Okay.
brother-in-law's business, so Linda's representing them as well today.
Also, the gallant Inniscarra team that have given us so much enjoyment over the past 8 seasons or so. So, as always, it's a difficult choice, but someone has to make it. So, I might ask that the following player come forward to select the senior county title player of the match for 2020. Fiona Keating.
No surprise, Fiona Keating is the player of the match. Scored 3-2 in a county final, Paddy. That's not bad, is it?
No, a really exciting talent. Look, we'd be hoping to get big things out of her this year as well, but I thought when they started on the inside line today, I thought it was the wrong decision, and when they brought her out in around the middle of the field, particularly in the first half, I thought she did serious damage.
And she practically ended this game in around the kind of 38-minute mark with her third goal. She scored her fourth, or scored her, it was Courcey Rovers' third goal. It was a couple of minutes later that they got their fourth and her third. So the captain is going to lift the trophy, Karen Johan.
On behalf of the board, we congratulate Courcey Rovers and Inniscarra. We thank you for all that you do for Camogie. Today wasn't your day, but I have no doubt that you will be back again.
Inniscarra, unfortunately for them, only scoring 2 points after the water break in the second half. Even at that stage, it looked like a tall order. Even if they had have gone on a scoring run at half time, Courcey Rovers led 2-8 to 6 points. But at the water break in the second half, it was Courcey Rovers 4-9, Inniscarra 110, 8 points in the difference, and it was always going to be difficult to reel Courcey Rovers back in, especially given the kind of head of steam that they had built up. Courcey Rovers, well, their score sheet is very impressive. Linda Collins with 2-5, Fiona Keating with 3-2. Saoirse McCarthy scored a point but did so much work around the pitch. Jacinta Crowley with 4 points, 3 of them from frees. For Inniscarra, well, they got a goal in the second half through Erin Looney, but even then it just looked like it was after going too far and they couldn't reel it back. And as we say, Fiona Keating scored Courcey's third goal on 38 minutes, and 3 minutes afterwards scored their fourth goal, her third. 3-2 overall for her. Not a bad day at all. Karen Johan lifts the trophy. Courcey Rovers are the champions.
Yeah, and of course the title of the cup is the Punch Shoe Care Cup.
I'm not sure if you can hear her speech at home. We'll try and bring it to you if we can.
We've been up seniors 21 years now, I think, so it's a long time coming. First of all, I'd like to thank the referee, Colin McAllister. I think he refed the game as evenly balanced as he could. He left the game flow as much as he could, and I think the end result showed that. I'd like to thank the Cork County Board for running off the season so well and so well structured. They laid out the new restrictions to every team really well, and they run off the competition really well, so well done and thank you. I'd like to thank our management. Mike, he came down to our club 3.5 years ago. He believed in us. He brought Courcey's to a new level. So I'd like to thank you in particular. Kevin Hannon and Joey, you've been involved in this team a long time. Again, you showed so much encouragement to the team throughout the years. And a great big thank you to you. Shirley Maloney, you brought a bit of sass to the team this year. You kept us sane during lockdown, and all the workouts on Zoom. I'm sure they've all paid off. The whole team now has 6 packs, so I'm sorry with them to you. To the 2 new mentors that came on board today, Fanta and Martin, You brought so much encouragement to the teams since you joined our panel. I thank each and every one of you for all the work that you've done with us. Our touch was on point today, and that's from all the ball touches that you have done. And Martin, you had our fitter on pitch today with the warm-up really got us going, so thank you a million. On a personal note, I'd like to thank my family, my parents. They've been behind me every step of the way, and I just want to say a great big thank you to you. To my husband Ronan, I'm going to embarrass you now. You've driven me on every step of the way since the first day we met, and this year you've been unbelievable in the support, and I know I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you this year. To my daughter Layla, you've been my inspiration this year, and I hope in years to come back and you'll be able to watch this back, I've made you proud. And to Inniscarra, I want to thank you for such a great, hard, tough game today. You're an unbelievable team, and I've no doubt you'll be back here next year, fighting and even fitter and faster than you were this year. So well done, Inniscarra, and 3 to you. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! This has been a long time coming. Hopefully it's one of our many, and we'll enjoy this tonight.
They certainly will enjoy it, and I think it's fair to say that the captain, Karen Johan, spoke incredibly well there, Trace.
Yeah, and I mean, she mentioned her baby daughter there as well, and you know, it kind of had been easy for her to get to training and, you know, finding the time for it. Yeah, great speech from her, and I think for Mary McSweeney, the county board chairperson, as well, to remind him, you know, not to overdo the celebrations, because the way Cork at the moment, you know, they're urging people to be more careful. Yeah, look, they're going over to their supporters now, but, you know, brilliant day, great day for Courcey Rovers, and, you know, we cannot emphasise enough how worthy champions they are here today.
Paddy, you know a thing or two about putting teams together, and I think it's fair to say that the management team of Courcey Rovers have done incredibly well.
Yeah, they did, you know, look, I mentioned already with Mike Boland coming down a couple of years ago. You probably won't meet a more passionate man about hurling or camogie, and I think he has really brought great energy to that team, and you know, his print is all over it, you know.
Well, they're parading the trophy over there as we speak. Courcey Rovers, it's a magic moment for them. For Inniscarra, it's a tough place to be, but no doubt they'll use this as fuel to fire next year's challenge.
Yeah, I mean, look, they have a lot of young players coming up, and I suppose a little bit like Courcey Rovers 2 years ago, you know, where they had to make themselves familiar with what a county final, playing in a county final is like. It's the same for Inniscarra today. There's, as well as their established players, they have younger players, and things mightn't have gone their way today. And look, you know, they'll come back, and the main thing in defeat is to learn from it. And, you know, they'll still have many leaders among them, and many of the established players as well. And, you know, they'll be back, there's no question about that. They were in the Junior B final yesterday, so there's no shortage of players out in Inniscarra.
And that's important, isn't it? That it's not just one group of players, Paddy. They have a big group that they can kind of work with to get back. That's important, that they can challenge each other.
Yeah, it is, and I suppose probably with Inniscarra, they never had a real clear run at the championship this year. They've had a lot of injuries throughout the championship. I think probably another issue is that you have a lot of dual players, a lot of them playing with Donaghmore in football, and with a very compact schedule, it was very, very difficult for them to I suppose get a clear run.
And I suppose something we have to remember today as well, and we touched on it early on, but Fiona Keating, you know, has created double history, I suppose, today, when she's added a county senior camogie medal to the ladies football medal that she won only a couple of weeks ago. But we could see like what a tremendous athlete she is, and all the damage that she caused in there for Courcey Rovers, and simply Inniscarra just didn't have the players, I suppose, to mark the calibre of player of Fiona Keating and of Linda Collins and of Saoirse McCarthy.
Well, the captain is going to come over and have a word with us. I'm not sure if she can get through the fence, but I'll stretch the mic out if I possibly can. It'll only go so far, but they'll get her over to us by hook or by crook. And fair play to Mick, who's bringing her over. I can see that on the other side potentially there's a gap there, and maybe she'll come over and have a word with us. Well, we're joined now by the captain, Karen Keohane, and we'll go to this side of the railing. So the camera's following me. Well, Karen Keohane, captain of Courcey Rovers, tell me, how does it feel to be a club senior championship winner for the very first time?
Words cannot describe how happy I'm feeling right now. There's no other feeling like it in the world. It's unbelievable.
It was a tough game. I know the scoreline suggests one-sided, but like, you really had to battle there. You didn't have a great start.
No, we didn't. I suppose we were slow on the start, but again, that might have been just the nerves of being only our second time contesting a county final. So, but I think once we got our flow going, I suppose we kind of stayed going and we didn't stop till the end. So, delighted with the result.
I was saying it there at full time that when the whistle went, you could nearly feel the pain of 2 years ago evaporate. Was that an accurate comment?
Oh, definitely. I don't think it's just the last 2 years. I think it's the last 10 years, if not more. So it's just the joy at the end was just unbelievable.
Okay, well, enjoy the celebrations, enjoy them responsibly. You know yourself, you're back out in club action next week in the Munster Championship. And now that you've conquered Cork, you'll want to go as far as you can in Munster. I know that's a discussion maybe for Tuesday or Wednesday, but you're an ambitious lot.
We are. There's no limits to this team. There's so much talent, so hopefully we'll go a long way in the competition.
And just before I let you go, a word for Inniscarra. Just a great bunch of players, and they raised the bar, I suppose, for others to follow, and you followed, and you've got the hands on the cup.
Exactly, yeah. They've been a team that every club has inspired to be like over the last number of years. So even again today, they showed their talent. They just did not stop fighting till the end, and they've been an unbelievable team. They've been unbelievable credit to Cork County, and I'm sure they'll be back here next year again fighting for their place.
Go enjoy your team, go enjoy your family, and enjoy being the senior champions for the very first time. Mike, well done to you, well done to your team. Talk to me about this bunch of players, because I would imagine they put in a tremendous effort all year. Judging by what we saw, they look like a team who work hard in training, work hard in preparation. Well, I suppose it came off today, didn't it?
Yeah, I suppose, look, when the COVID was lifted and training resumed, we trained very hard. We trained as good as any senior men team out there. And look, we were coming off, driving back to Middleton after training sessions, and we were buzzing coming back home. More and more, we worked on walk rate was walk rate was the key to winning matches lately. And geez, they never panicked after the first 7 or 8 minutes there. And Sinead Riley brought off a huge save. And she just came back. And
what were you thinking after about 13 minutes? Because they were leading 5 points to no score.
We said, we spoke last night. We won't panic. We stick together. If there's a change to be made, we'll change. And look, we came back into it, and we kept putting the ball over the bar. Goals came. They had chances in games this year to get goals. And today, look, everything clicked right. Inniscarra, a very experienced team, huge team. But credit to Colin McAllister. He let the game flow the way it should be. You know, it's great for Cork Camogie the way the game is played. If you're going into a Munster Championship now, hard and physical, and these girls, like, you could see their touch today. We worked hard on their touch, fast ball, and to me, like, look, fast ball. And I said to him, one who could win this game with one block. But today, look, it was a huge game for senior Camogie and Cork. It was a fantastic game to watch.
And it's funny you mentioned it, not me. You brought it up, the Munster Club Championship. You want to have a rattle off that? Yeah,
look, we're going to declare next Sunday, we were told. I say we won't tell the girls for a while till we'll settle down. Wednesday night, I say we'll get back into the training pitch, and we'll have a crack off next Sunday. I suppose we'll see what the girls' minds are, and but we'll enjoy this evening because they deserve it. A first senior county down Courcey Rovers, and I'm delighted myself to Mick Boland bring me in at the start of the year this year to work on their touch and to drive them on. And I'm delighted, for the girls because they're an unbelievable bunch.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Mick Boland's actually going to come over and have a word with us now. Mick, you're the manager of the team, Courcey Rovers, champions in Cork for the first time. How does that feel?
It's brilliant. I suppose it hasn't sunk in yet, you know what I mean? But look, that group of girls have tried very, very hard. I've been with them about 3.5 years. They've tried very, very hard. They put everything into it. But I suppose, sometimes you don't always get what you deserve, and I think today was one of those days they got what they deserved because it was there but it just wasn't coming out.
How beneficial was the experience of 2 years ago? I know it hurt at the time to lose a county final, but you look more ready for it today. You look like you kind of were confident at this stage, whereas 2 years ago maybe you weren't.
Yeah, 2 years ago was stage fright. It's like, it was stage fright. It did get to them, and it just, everything collapsed, the ball fell, everything, but today we were prepared. We were well prepared. We trained this week and we trained last week, national anthems, playing with order. It was like as if we were just going into anything else. We prepared as best we could today, and we hoped we had taken all the nerves out of them. But I felt in the first 10 minutes I was a bit nervous myself, because I felt Inniscarra were after getting 3 or 4 or 5 points in a row. We haven't scored, but I think once the first score came, it just took whatever nerves, whatever was on them, you just exploded, you know.
Well done today. Go and enjoy it with your team. Go and enjoy it with all the families and all the friends of Courcey Rovers. Well, that's it from the Cork Camogie grounds, where Courcey Rovers have won their first ever SE Systems Cork Club Camogie Championship decider. They've beaten the wonderful Inniscarra. If you missed any of this and you want to watch it back, you can do so via the Irish Examiner. Don't forget, tonight, that's Sunday night if you're watching this live, we've got Ballincollig against Nemo Rangers in the Bond Secure Cork Senior Football Championship semi-final. That is one you do not want to miss. From myself, from Paddy, from Trays and all the team from Castle Road here in Mahon,